You talked about Akwa Ibom, you talk about Delta. It seems that the South is going to be delivered to the APC come 2027.
I don't know. I don't know. My own interest is my state. Look, do you want South to vote for Tinubu? Yes.
Just one more.
What is hidden in that? Have I not campaigned for that before? Is it a new thing?
And you are getting converts. Uma Innocence is for Tinubu in 2027.
Delta too also.
Governor Uma
And Delta too.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is that I have said it 2023. And I'm saying it again. On to 2031.
And people
when the position should go to the north, if there's nothing anybody will speak to me, there's no grammar.
They say it's anti-party, Your Excellency.
It's not. It's to allow harmonious living together.
But let's look
live
at
and let live.
Because if
You
it was
cannot,
someone else.
no, you cannot tell me that it's your own prerogative to be political president, but it's not so. Not all of us live and let live.
let's just look at your
support Peter Obi.
No, you have no chance to win the election.
okay.
I don't go to where you see, people like this kind of social media candidates. I don't do social media candidate. I see that as a politician.
We won this Abuja.
But he got 6 million votes.
I said, I see them as a politician. And I analyze the candidate who is likely to win. In politics, it's not always the right that, oh, this is the best candidate. No. You see, Nigerians today, their politics, so many factors come in. And I have always told people this. Whether it is correct or not, it's a different thing. Okay? Look at Tinubu one. Mind you, whether APC likes it or not, it was very, very turbulent for Tinubu to have scaled through that election. His own party administration, you could see, people don't want to speak the truth. Before that election, putting things that would have made him to fail the election go free. The fuel crisis, the Naira issue, it was terrible. No party in government would at that time bring such policy when you know you are running an election. But everything was done and he survived it.
Honorable Minister.
He survived it. So that's how you know that there are people, first of all, God is on their side. Two, they also know this game. He must give it to them.
So there you have it. Wike just called Peter Obi social media candidate, and he does not have any chance of winning election. So the ball is on our table, on our court now. What do you think about what he said? Do you agree that Peter Obi is just a social media candidate? Is it based on the structure of Nigerians' electoral system today that's why it's calling Peter Obi a social media candidate? Now, before we break that down, please watch this to the end. And if you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. And if you've been following us and you've not subscribed, do so too. Now, this is the same Wike that his argument is that he helped deliver Rivers State into Tinubu's hands, APC. But all agreement today says that election was rigged in Rivers State, helped by INEC, helped by the police, and so on and so forth. And he says that because what he described here is that because the Buhari's administration tried to frustrate Tinubu and he still won the election, he says because that's how you know that God is with him and he knows the game. So for them, politics is a game where they pick and choose where to land, and then they do everything possible to make sure they land there. So, and he said that in spite of the best effort by Peter Obi and the difficulty he has to face with INEC, we all agree there was massive rigging in the election. And one of those states that was massively rigged was Rivers State. And this guy here, Wike, was the mastermind of that. So the question I ask you today is, what do you think? Do you think that Peter Obi is just a social media candidate? Just like you want to say Omole Yeshore is a social media candidate, but he himself is not coming up in the conversation. The conversation is always about Peter Obi, Bola Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar. Okay, so how do you think this game will be played? Because all the PDP, nearly all the PDP governors are all now, bowing down to the Tinubu reign. If you take South South, for example, they're frustrating for Barra because they need Rivers State. Edo State is already falling into the hands of APC thanks to the courts as well. Delta State is also pledging to APC. They want to frustrate Diri in Bayelsa State and so many other states as well. But we're looking at the South South. If South South falls into the hands of APC, then that's it, it's done. Because it only needs a handful of the North and one or two Eastern State, and knowing that it might bank on the Southwestern State and Abuja, then that's it. So these are their political mathematics here. So what do you think? What do you think, rather? Sorry. What do you think? So I'm asking this question because this is a part where we talk about this kind of conversation statement that we keep. I mean, Peter Obi, you need to respond to what Wike said. Wike called you a social media candidate, meaning that in real life you don't have a chance because he said you don't have a chance of winning an election. That's what Wike called you. But the thing is this, right? You have proven that you can win an election. Wike never, apart from the governorship election, which a lot of people argue that it was rigged anyway. He's never proven that he can win any a national election anyway. So do you agree with Wike's statement against Peter Obi? Because it's a big swipe he took at Peter Obi. Calling him a social media candidate. So they played all these games at the back and they made all the arrangement. That's why when you look at the sole administrator thing in Rivers State, everything is geared towards 2027. And just like Arabambi, these guys are already now playing the game out for us to see what their, chessboard looks like and where they're making all the moves. But as for us Nigerians, we're not taking into account. You can see these governors, you can see how they're making their moves for their own survival, but not for the people. Not for the people. So what is your take about this? He wants to deliver the states into the hands of APC for his own political relevance. Now, we know that PDP is a crumbled political party. SDP is more or less non-existent, apart from the new defections going towards SDP. But the people's, vote literally is still counted towards the Labour Party if Peter Obi is still there. But now there's this big conundrum. We have INEC, who is going to play the umpire's role, but favorable towards the APC. We have the judiciary, who will end up adjudicating the case and obviously will give it to the APC. The question is, how do we mobilize people to make sure that those returning officers are not bought over? How do we mobilize Nigerians to make sure that they don't become too for destruction? Because they use these same bandits and thugs to rig election, to cause electoral mayhem. So how do we do it? This is the question in the comment section for all of us to have a conversation about. But literally, as you heard from Wike's mouth, Peter Obi cannot win election and is a social media candidate. What is your take? Do you agree with with Wike here? If you're pro-Tinubu, would you believe that Peter Obi is just a social media candidate, not a proper candidate as a viable? Literally, all of Wike's might is the fact that he's a minister and he's obviously pledged to give Tinubu states anyway. And he said it already, he would never support PDP when it comes to until 2031. So PDP is out of the question. What do you expect to happen in 2027? Put your comment in the comment section. As always, if you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. And if you've been following us and you've not done so, subscribe as well. Make sure you also recommend this channel to others. Thank you and God bless you. Bye-bye for now.